Do you want to bake a cake that looks and tastes great, but you don't know exactly what you need? If you grew up baking but haven't done so in a long time, it can be difficult to know where to start. In this video, I'm sharing the top 10 items you need to bake and decorate your first official cake. Stay until the end where I'll reveal one bonus item. Now let's get started. First, you'll need cake batter. There are generally two options: prepackaged cake mix or making the cake from scratch. There are some advantages to using a cake mix. Basically, just gather the ingredients and combine them. A cake mix has been tested and adjusted, so no matter if your ingredients are cold or room temperature, the cake layers come out pretty consistent. Making a cake from scratch does require a little more effort and time. You have to gather the ingredients, measure the ingredients, and there are some ingredients like milk, cream, eggs, and butter which must be at room temperature before you start to combine them to form your cake batter. If you don't bake very often, using a cake mix will be a more convenient choice to save you time. Secondly, you do want to have cake pans. Pans come in a variety of shapes and sizes. The most popular shape is round. The most common size is an 8-inch round pan. If you're in the market for new pans, I would recommend buying 2 8-inch round pans. Select cake pans that are light-colored aluminum with sturdy sides and a sturdy bottom. Before you pour the cake batter into the pans, you must remember to prepare the cake pans so that the cake layers don't stick to the pans once they're baked. There are a few different ways to prepare a cake pan, but my personal favorite is to use baking spray. I share a few more options for preparing your cake pans in a video which is linked in the description. Number 3 is a cake leveler or bread knife. While a cake is baking, sometimes it forms a dome on the top. Before stacking cake layers, you would want to remove the dome with a cake leveler or bread knife. This will ensure that the finished cake is as level as possible. Number 4 are cake boards and cake bases. Once the cakes are baked, you need a flat, grease-proof surface on which to place and build up the cake layers. You could use a cake board which is made of corrugated cardboard with a white grease-proof top, or a cake base like this. Cake bases are much thicker and are available in silver, black, white, gold, and a variety of colors. The rule of thumb is that your cake base or cake board must be at least 2 inches in diameter larger than your actual cake. This will give you enough space on the top of the board to handle the cake without running your fingers into the side of your cake. The 5th item that would be helpful to have is a turntable. A turntable makes it easy for you to access all sides of your cake from one stationary position, whether you're sitting or standing. Cake turntables are available in plastic or metal. They can be very helpful when frosting a cake and even when applying pipe decorations to a cake, which I'll mention later on in the video. Item number 6 that you'll want to have is an offset metal spatula. Spatulas come in different sizes and materials, but the two most common configurations are straight spatulas and offset spatulas. I recommend that you pick up an offset spatula that's made of metal with a plastic or wood handle. Also, the slight angle of the offset spatula helps to keep hands up and away from the cake, which is very important while frosting a cake, especially when frosting the top. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel where I share many more cake decorating tips, tricks, and tutorials. A pretty important item that we haven't forgotten is number 7, icing or frosting. Although from a pastry art standpoint there is a distinct difference between frosting and icing, these terms are used interchangeably in the United States to refer to a filling or topping for layered cake. Just like cake batter, icing or frosting can come pre-packaged or be made from scratch. I have an entire playlist containing icing recipes, which is linked in the video description. Store-bought icing is great for icing a cake because it is very soft. Look for frosting labeled as decorator for thicker consistency of icing, which is appropriate for piping. If you make your icing from scratch, you can have better control of the overall consistency, and that can be advantageous. If you're adding color to your cake, you'll want to have food coloring handy. The most common and accessible being gel paste color. It's available in a variety of colors and container types. If you find oil-based colors, those will work just as well. You never, ever want to use liquid food coloring in your icing. It will loosen the consistency and make your icing very thin like this. You can simply cover a cake with icing and keep the decorations simple, but if you're planning to attempt to pipe some decorations onto your cake, you'll need piping bags. Disposable decorating bags, which are recyclable, are very easy to find. If you're more environmentally focused, reusable decorating bags are available. The most common piping bag sizes that you'll encounter are 12-inch bags and 16-inch bags. In most cases, a 12-inch bag will be large enough to decorate your entire cake. To go along with your piping bags, you will also want some piping tips or piping nozzles. Although there are several different types and they are available in plastic and metal, I would highly recommend the number 21 tip and the number 3 tip. The number 21 tip is highly versatile, and you can pipe all of these beautiful decorations just with this one piping tip. A number 3 tip comes in handy when you are writing on the top of your cake. The small opening makes it easy to precisely apply an inscription anywhere on your cake. But be sure to practice first. Hey, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around to this point. The bonus item that you may want to have is a cake box. If you're gifting a cake or bringing it to a get-together, you'll want to do so with it in a box. I prefer cake boxes with a window because they create such a nice presentation. When trying to determine the size of the cake box that you need, I would recommend that your cake box be the same size as the diameter of your cake board or cake base. This will ensure that your cake fits snugly into the box, which will make it easier to transport and handle. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and share it with anyone who enjoys baking and cake decorating. A very special shout out to all of my channel members, and to you, thanks for watching.